Hey YouTube, how's it going? Mevlin back here again with another Alchemy Stars video, and for this one I finally did it. I finally cleared floor 80 of the Frost Spire. Now I'm gonna be honest though, I think I kind of cheated. I feel like there was a bug in the game somewhere. I'm not sure who caused it. It's either Hydrad or Connolly. I'll show you right at the end. You guys will see what I'm talking about. But I don't care, it counts. I killed it. This is all that matters. I got the clear record and I don't care what anyone else is going to say. In terms of team composition, mine is kind of crappy, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm missing some of the key units. The biggest one I think is going to be Sharona. Every single one that cleared it above me has a breakthrough 3 Sharona or breakthrough 4 Sharona. So it seems like Sharona is going to be the queen of floor 80 in the Frost Spire. But this is the team I have. The sad part in my team compared to other ones is that they didn't really invest too much on their units. Like, look at this guy, he only has level 1s. I happen to level 20 both my Connolly and my Carleen, and also level 5 my Hydrad, and my equipments are pretty high. Connolly and Carleen have level 10 equipments, and I think Hydrad and Miss Blank both have level 6 or level 7. Only Sariel here does not have any equipment upgrades. So this fight is pretty long. If you guys just want to see a specific portion or a specific phase, I'm going to put some timestamps in the description below. So the first step, before even doing anything, you want to be re-rolling to be getting some good tile RNG. I think this is true for most team comps, because trying to one-shot this boss is almost mandatory, or at least the first phase. You want to one-shot the first phase, that way you have an easier time on the following phases, because you have way more rounds to do more stuff. So with this comp, we're going to be relying on Hydrad in order to one-shot. Like every single one of my water teams, it's always relying on Hydrad. Here, the downside is I can't end in the middle, but I have 5 basic attacks, so it should be enough to one-shot this boss. Yeah, it's all about knowing your damage and knowing, you know, what you need to do. And we're on to phase 2 with Aurora time. We see a bunch of greens here. I'm going to be using Connolly because I want to start stacking her skills up. She now has 2 stacks, but I want to get to 5. That way we deal a decent amount of damage whenever we need to. So I'm going to end my turn where I can hit both of them and they cannot hit me. Here, I see a tile of yellows, but there's no way for me to be safe here, because this is when they're going to do their cross attack, so there's no safe yellow tiles, unfortunately. And also, try not to get yourself cornered, so try to move backwards or to a point where you can still move around. The worst thing you can do in this fight is to put yourself in the corner and not have any skills ready to teleport out. So here, I'm going to be fine here because I'm going to be having my Carleen skill soon. So even if I'm feeling trapped, I can just escape with Carleen later. Here, also note that I'm never running any blue tiles because I want to be keeping as many blue tiles as I can for a big turn. So try to avoid using your blue tiles if you can help it. If you're stuck and you have to run blue tiles, then you have to run blue tiles. But if you can avoid it, avoid using it, then you should definitely avoid using it. So this is one of my big turns where Carleen and Miss Blank and my Sariel all have cooldowns up. Depending on your damage, you should know your damage. So there's 2 options here. If you can one-shot both of them at the same time with your cooldown, which would be kind of insane, you probably need crazy levels. I personally can't. So the plan here is to do a little bit of damage to both of them, while at the same time not killing any of them. And this all goes to practice, like doing the fight over and over again, knowing how much damage you're gonna do. There's so many times where I've accidentally killed the boss, but now I know how much damage I can do, and that's how I try to min-max my damage without killing them.
お気軽にご皆様、目的地に到着いたしました。力を入れないで。
Here I tried to only use the upper half of these blue tiles. I tried to keep the bottom one intact. That way, you know, I could use that for later. Because like I said, I'm not planning to one-shot them here. So given that, I'm only going to be using the top ones. That's why I used my Sariel, because I was short. And also note that I don't loop around towards like the bottom left for an extra basic attack, because that's a bit of a trap. Depending on how the tiles reset, I might be trapped in that corner. So I end my turn here, where if I need to run, there's a line of yellows, there's a line of blues, there's so many different ways, there's so many paths for me to go if I need to leave. Yeah, knowing my damage here, I'm gonna do more damage to the bottom left one. So I'm thinking ahead, trying to plan how to deal damage to the top right one without doing damage to this bottom left one. Like here, I don't really have a choice. The tiles didn't go my way. The only option I have is to run these blues, unfortunately. I mean, I could run this red. I guess I could have run the red. No, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe and run the blues. And now here, I'm thinking of finding a way to do Connolly's ability without hitting the other one. That way I could lower the bigger one without dealing damage to the smaller one. So I want to be moving to the top right somehow. Yeah, unfortunately I ended up using the blue tiles here. Didn't really want to, but you know, I don't have a choice. Fortunately, the boss is still in range for Connolly's skills, so I'm just going to run this yellow, and they're not going to move, so now I'm going to be a spot where I could use Connolly's skills without hitting the one that has lower health. $25k, it's actually not that bad, but the bosses just have so much health that 25k damage was like less than 5% of the boss's HP. I really think they need to buff active skills somehow, just because that's all Connolly does, and because of how active skills don't scale with anything. You don't get tile combo multipliers, you don't get attack hit multipliers, there's no multipliers that goes with active skills, and that's why I feel like her kit is kind of lacking, because everything is on that active skill and there's no multipliers that can go with it. So here I'm also using my Hydra just to make sure I'm able to kill this thing. So I'm gonna kill the top one with auto attacks, and I also managed to kill the bottom one with auto attacks. So Hydra was kind of useless, but better safe than sorry. The colors here are pretty good too. There's a bunch of reds in one side, there's a bunch of yellows right in the center. Yeah, I got pretty lucky here in terms of color RNG. So not much to do here, can't really use that yellow since it'll put me in a bad position. So I'm just gonna do this small island of yellow here. But fortunately, I got giga lucky. Every single one turned into yellow. Like that was just super lucky. So now I can just run this yellow since it's 15 or more than 15, and I could do an Aurora time. I also have my Carleen up here, but I didn't want to use it, or I didn't think I needed to, and I wanted to save it for in case I wanted to. Like, this was probably a tough decision for me whether or not to use Carleen's skill. Like, I could just use her skill and then run away, like that's one option. But here, I think I decided not to use it. So take those yellow tiles, reset them, and since we Aurora time and we see a bunch of reds that could put us in a good spot, I'm just gonna run these reds and not use Carleen's. I mean, the other option too was just to use Carleen's, run the red, but I didn't really know where to use it, to be honest. Yeah, I probably should have just used it, that way it's on cooldown and I change a bunch of tiles to blue. So back on a spot where we're pretty safe and we managed to hit 3 of the mobs. Here, since I know my cooldowns and I don't think Carleen is going to get 2 more, I could only get 1 more Carleen turn, I just decided to save it. Man, it took me, I didn't know it took me this long to think about this. Like, this fight is so PTSD, like so many fails that I've done that I want to make sure that every move I make is optimal. Yeah, so now here all my cooldowns are up, but I don't intend to take a big turn here. I'm just going to be changing tiles and then run away. So now that I have a lot of blues in one corner of the map, I'm gonna try to bait them this way to where I am and then use that as my like starter blue and then end my turn here. It's kind of hard to explain, you'll just see what I mean afterwards. Damn, dude, I didn't think I was thinking this hard. Looking back, like, Jesus. I'm spending like 2 minutes per turn planning every single thing. So we're going to be safe in this corner. Well, once they move towards us, they can't really reach us here. And we have all our skills ready. But we don't really need to use it now. There's 3 rounds left, and this is going to be my last like use of my skills, so no reason to waste it. Also, I guess I'm also waiting for Carleen. So yeah, the next round is going to be my last turn. Knowing that, I'm just gonna bait them this way. So they're in a pretty good cluster. And like I said, this is my last turn. Here, everyone is also on Conley's range with her skill. So we could do some damage before we start our big turn. I really wish her damage was more. It feels really underwhelming. Especially because that's all it does. Like, with Conley, all she does with her skills is do damage, and it's just not enough. In terms of like ratio of damage, basic attacks and chain combos do way more. So having an active that only does damage is kind of the reason why I think she's underwhelming. Here, I'm gonna push this out, that way I get a couple more extra attacks on these mobs. And we got kind of lucky that one red tile, like way over there, was changed. That way now we could loop around. And this is where I think it is bugged. I'm gonna use my Hydrad's ability, and you'll see why. I'm actually going to be killing them in different attacks, and for some reason they didn't heal. I'm not sure if it's because they were feared, that's why they don't heal, or it's because of Hydrad. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me guys know if you guys have experienced this bug in this fight before. I feel kind of bad cheating, but you know, not really. W's a W, man. Don't really care. Yeah, also note that I'm grabbing everything because this is my last turn. So then my first basic attack is going to be max combo. Yeah, every single basic attack here is at max combo, which is what you want. And then I'm gonna end my turn on this last one, which is where my plan was to do chain combos, but in hindsight, this shouldn't have worked. It only works because of the bug. So I killed one here, and it should have healed the other ones, or so I thought, and I killed the other one next. And that should have been a heal too. So, like I said, let me know if you guys have experienced this bug. Not sure if it's Conley or Hydrad. I'm guessing it's Hydrad, and we managed to kill the fight. And as a reward for all that hard work, we got 2 summons. How exciting. Let's just throw it in, see what we got. We got 1 purple, Lester, and the other one is going to be another purple. Sweet. And that is going to be it for this one, boys. For everyone that stuck all the way through, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.